Hello pilots and ground crew, welcome back to my channel again. Well, this isn't your standard FPV coffee break because normally when I do one of these I'm talking about new pilots or videos I've seen or information about new stuff and things like that. But today it's really a bit of information about a couple of new things I've got. I've decided, on a video I made, I don't know, a few weeks ago about the Tenergy Evolution Pro, I said I've gone with it because there's nowhere where I can fly for long range or out like that, so it's pointless me having a long range system. However, I've been getting fail-safe a few times and stuff because I've been pushing it that little bit too far. So I've had one or two problems behind the thicker trees as well, and I mean thick trees, I don't just mean a couple of trees. So I've decided anyway to go down the long range route, and I've got myself, which I'll show you in a moment, the Nevada Dark Knight Batman transmitter, whatever you want to bloody call it. The Underground FPV FlySky Nevada. I got myself one of them, and I've also gone down the R9M long range by FR Sky because they're compatible, so brilliant. I looked at the TBS as most of us do. Yes, from everything I've read and heard, they're sort of like awesome and they never fail. However, I mean, over 200 quid and the receivers are about £50 each. And the R9M a hell of a lot cheaper, as you know, so I'm not going to go on about that. First thing I want to do though is Neil, aka the Flying Pig FPV, Flying Pig FPV. When I'd ordered these things, I'd got in touch with him because I know he's got the same setup, He's got the Nevada and he's got the R9M, And there was a couple of questions I wanted to know, and he was very helpful, so I wanted to say thank you. And he gave me some great advice because I did not realise straight away. I'd ordered the long range system, and remember, I'm a complete novice at this, The Nevada comes with OpenTX, and I have never used OpenTX, I've been using Futaba, for over 2 decades. And a bit longer, but I'm like a Futaba man, Because let's be honest, I like the best radios on the go, and if it wasn't for Futaba, there'd be no such thing as Taranis or out like that, because they really brought everything in. But Futaba radios, there was just too much gear on it for flying quads, in my opinion, So I use my Futaba for my planes and my helis and stuff. And when the Tenergy Evolution come out, I thought perfect, just a bog standard little radio, a couple of switches for my modes and stuff sorted. So I've been using the Tenergy Evolution for my quads and the Futaba for everything else. But getting back to this, you see the new radio, OpenTX and stuff, so I've got no idea about it. And I got no idea about this long range stuff, only what I've watched and stuff. But what I didn't realise straight away was, I knew you got an EU version of the R9M and you got a non-EU version of the R9M. And the one I ordered was the non-EU version, even though we're within the EU, not for much longer. Come on, government. Yeah, so I just assumed I'd just switch the software around. It can't be that difficult. Well, I asked Neil, and Neil basically said it can be a nightmare. So I looked into it more, and it really does look like it's a nightmare. But luckily, because of the information Neil gave me, I managed to cancel it and reorder the EU one. So that's all great news for me. So I don't have to mess about trying to change software and stuff. But yeah, so thanks to Neil for bits of information he gave me, very helpful. So let's jump down to the table, take a quick look, and like I said, this is all new to me, but as I learn stuff, as I learn how to work the radio and do firmware updates and things like that, right? If I come across anything that might be difficult for new pilots, once I've learned it, right, I'll make a video, right? If you've got any questions, right, leave a comment, and when I come across that, right, as I learn and read the instructions myself, right, I'll let you know how to solve it if you haven't by the time I've finished. But yeah, so it's a learning curve for me, OpenTX, because never used it in my life, so that should be fun. It's always great fun, innit, learning new software and stuff. But yeah, so let's just get down the table, have a quick look. When I show you the R9M, there's already a couple of things I've learned which is reasonably important, especially one thing about the antennas. Okay then, let's get down to the table and have a look. Cheers. Right then, pilots, that's just the box. I've actually opened it because it was a bit tight to slide it out, the transmitter. We'll come back to the long range system in a moment. Now let's have a look at what you get in the box for the transmitter if you don't already know. Let me just zoom out a little bit there, I'm a little bit too tight. There you go. Don't know if that's level or not. But you get a nice little padded, well, what, picture I suppose, which is sort of nice, bit of padding, right, nice little picture, it's nice. You get some great stickers, Nevada stickers, you get some really cool stickers actually, they are awesome. That one's going on my goggles, or maybe that one. But yeah, and then the instructions. Oh, I'll tell you something right now, right, just in case you didn't know, you do not get batteries with it. You must buy your batteries separate, right? They're not that expensive, you can pick them up all over. I got these off eBay, right? They're not expensive, but they're the 18650 batteries, so they are quite common, these batteries, and they are all over the place. But you don't get batteries with this transmitter, so don't get fooled by that one. Obviously you get a bit of information, warnings in 2 different languages. Read it, you might as well have a look, better safe than sorry. In this little box I have no idea, I'm guessing the charging cable and bits and pieces. Yeah, that looks like charging cable. Some more cables. Oh yeah, it comes with 2 receivers, a big receiver shall we say, and a small micro receiver. So you've got cables and 2 receivers and a charging cable, so that's nice. I'm going through this quick because, as I've said, this is new stuff for me. It's stuff I'm going to have to learn myself. Alright, so let's take it out. I'll tell you what, I ain't come across any instructions. Maybe you download the manual, unless it's under here, maybe. We'll just... Sorry, just going off shot, trying to... No, there's no instructions, so no instruction manual. Alright, which is a shame, so you'll have to download the instruction manual. But it's one of them things. And we've got the transmitter then. Let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. Comes with a nice cover, and I'll tell you what, the first thing I noticed, because I have had a look at this, it's bloody heavy. It's really heavy. However, if I compare it to my Futaba radio, it's about the same. It's just that I've got used to the Tenergy Evolution, and that's a really light transmitter. So I'm not used to this heavy transmitter. Alright, but I'll get used to it. So let's just take this cover off. There you go. Just very strong actually, that cover. Very strong. Alright, and you've got your transmitter. And well, as you can, I haven't even got the batteries in yet because I need to get the batteries in, get them charged. I've literally just opened it a couple of minutes ago. Alright, so in case you didn't know, right, to power it up you'd hold down both of these buttons. This is for your landline, your neck strap, right? Your SD card is under there, so to get out your SD card you have to take this off, get out your SD card and put it back in again, right, for any software updates and things like that. These 2 buttons are your trims, right? On here You've got a 2-position switch on this side, a momentary switch, which means it just bounces back. So I mean, they're called momentary switches, but when I was learning, right, they're called trainer switches. It's so that if you're teaching someone to fly, you hold that down, they've got their own transmitter. If they start to get into trouble, you let go of that, then you've taken over with your transmitter. Right, trainer switch, but also known as momentary switches. You can use them for other things, right, but not a lot of other things. You've got a 3-position switch on this side and another 2-position switch there. You got some dial switches, which I don't like. I never know what to use them for, to be quite honest. They're good for trimming, right? But you've got your trims here. But whatever you want to use them for, to be honest, these dial switches, I usually just stick the buzzer on one of them and just leave it, just so I can just move it across for the buzzer. On the underside, you have 2 more momentary trainer switches, so you can choose whichever side you're using. You also have a 3-position switch and another 3-position switch. All padded feet and everything. On this side is where you'll connect your brackets. Oh, that'll be one of them things in one of these bags. Right, it's your bracket to connect up to mount your module. If you're not using your module, you have a fold away antenna. Now this actually comes with 2 antennas, and a lot of people don't realise that there's a secondary antenna built into the transmitter, so you don't need that up. So if you're flying something like a tiny whoop and you're not going to be going a long way anyway, you don't need that up. You can just keep it down because there's a second antenna in there. Right. On this side you've got a charging port. On that side I have no idea till I look at the instructions, but there's a little rubber bung. It's probably for some sort of software update. I don't know, I'd be lying, but this side is definitely for charging your batteries while they're in your transmitter. And I'll tell you what, the very first thing, because these gimbals feel great, by the way. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, they're a bit loose or something, but I think they've upgraded them because the gimbals feel great. The transmitter itself, like I've already said, is a little bit heavy, but the way it feels in my hands, I can get at everything. And it feels really, really comfortable. However, apart from one thing, these gimbals, well, not the gimbals, the actual finger grips. Right? As we all know, you can unscrew them to make them longer. Right? But what I like to do is to remove, remove the bottom part completely. I do this on all my transmitters, and just put the top one back on. And it don't go all the way down, but it goes a lot lower. Right? And now it's a lot lower. If I hold the transmitter that way, hopefully you'll be able to see that this one is lower than that one. Alright, because I like a lower profile, so I'll do the same on this side while I remember. And like I said, until I get the batteries charged up, right, and get inside and have a look at it, there's not a great deal I can tell you. And even then there won't be a great deal I can tell you until I've read all the instructions and figured it all out. Because like I said, this comes with OpenTX, right, and that is all new to me. Oh, that's a lot better. I'm a lot happier with that. Right, the clear plastic, by the way, right, don't look amazing, but there again it doesn't look too bad actually. But the reason why they've done it clear is because clear, before any colouring, white, black, pink, red or green or whatever, is stronger. Alright, so it's nice and strong. But no, that feels a lot better for me now. I like the feel of the gimbals, and now I've shortened them, that feels really nice for flying that well. Feels very comfy in your hand. And there you go, there's not a lot more I can say until I've got the batteries charged up, turned it on, showing you the screen and everything. But to be honest, you'd have seen that in other videos, so I don't want to waste your time just showing you things you've already seen. This is more of a I've got one of these. I'm going to learn how to do it. If I come across anything, I'll make a video for new pilots to help them out. Okay then, let's move on to the R9M long range. Right, fade in, fade out. Hi pilots, George from the future, so to speak. Well, you'll tell I've had a shave and done my head again. No, I'm just jumping in here, right, because two things, right, that I've just found out. Right, it's took me 12 bloody hours to charge the batteries up, right, inside the transmitter. So I need to get a battery charger. So I would be grateful if you could leave some comments telling me which battery charger you recommend for the 18650 batteries, because there's hundreds out there. Right, so if you can recommend a good charger for us. Okay, while we're here, I'll just show you something else that managed to save a bit of money on, actually, a case. Yeah, I got this old Tenergy case, transmitter case. Now I've had this, oh, it must be over 10 years, maybe 7. Right, but I've had it a long time. Right, I think you can pick them up now from Hobby King for about £4, and I think this cost me about £20 odd. But yeah, cheap as chips now. But yeah, everything just fits in there perfect. The transmitter fits in. Got my little R9 module down there. Got the antenna for the R9 module, and it all fits in great. Right, so I'm quite happy. I'll tell you what, just before we jump to the R9 module, I'll just, if I can take this off with one hand, yes, while we're here, right, just for the hell of it, we'll turn it on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
I like that. Welcome to OpenTX.
Throttle warning.
Yeah, so there it is. It's all charged up, ready to go. I've got a model already set up. Alright, so yeah, like I said, I just wanted to jump in and give you that little question about the charger. So I thought maybe somebody could help me, and back to me. And I'll appreciate your advice on which charger to get, if you don't mind. Right, now let's continue with the video, jump to the past and show you the R9 module and a couple of tips to do with the antenna. Okay then, jump back. Okay then pilots, moving on to the long range system. Now, just like the transmitter, I know you'd have seen this before. There are literally, well, not millions, but hundreds of videos on this. But I just thought I'd show you it, tell you a couple of points I've already learnt. Right, it's the R9M. Right, apparently it'll reach up to 10k distance, which is about what? Just under 8 miles, 7.5 miles, but I will not be testing that. Right. One thing I did find out straight away, which shocked the hell out of me when I opened the box and looked at this, was how tiny it is. When you see them on YouTube, like you're looking at it now, they look so big. But if I hold it in my hand, they're bloody tiny. In fact, if I just get a pen, a normal size pen, it's less than half the size of a pen. They are so tiny, and it really did shock me, actually. Like I said, I'm not going to go through all this. I haven't got anything set up. I have to read the instructions. This is all new to me too, right, as I said before. But there are one or two things I already know, right. For instance, these switches here, right, these are for you to set your how can I explain it simply, for how far you want to go. Alright, but it's recommended by my mate Neil just to leave it, flying pig again, just to leave it on 25, which is number 1 in the down position and number 2 in the up position. Is 25 milliwatts, and apparently that is ample, so that's what I'll be trying it on. When you don't know something, you listen to somebody who does. That's what I always say. But yeah, so I can't wait to really test it out. But like I said, there is one or two things I already know. Just take these out of the box. Alright, you'll notice straight away this particular antenna. Alright, there are different types you can get, but this is the one that came with it. right, please, for God's sake, do not just get a bog standard antenna off your radio and screw it in, because these antennas have been set up, right, for, well, this particular one, there's some, I'll just jump backwards. If you've got a yellow mark on your antenna or your receivers, they're actually set up, right, with the exact wattage for the EU, right. So it's 868 megahertz, right, and that's for the EU. The red ones go up to 900 megahertz, and that's for outside the EU, and the plain black ones I've no idea actually. However, don't panic if you've got a red one and you're in the EU, right, because it's only a problem, or it will only become a problem, if you're really pushing that 2, 3, 4 mile mark. If you're going to be flying like most of us will, just your average sort of flight with a bit of extra distance, right, let's just say for argument's sake up to 1/4 mile, right, even 1/2 mile, don't really matter what colour these are, it's not going to hurt the signal or whatever. Okay, but the yellow represents set up exact megahertz for the EU, the red is set up exact for outside. There's not a lot in it, and like I said, it's not going to make a great deal of difference, okay, unless you're going really long range, alright, but if you're going to be pushing it that far, you're probably already going to know that anyway. Yeah, getting back to what I just said about the antenna, please do not stick anyone on here, because like I just mentioned, this is set up for 868 megahertz, and a standard antenna off your transmitter, right, some sort of rubber duck one, whatever you happen to be using, right, will be 2.4 gigahertz, right. So what will happen is, if I just put this on loosely, just to give you an idea, what will happen, I won't use the correct terminology, I'll just keep this simple, right, as I do for new pilots, right. The power will come out this way, it will go around and it will blast the signal out, I'll receive the signal and all like that, okay, that's fine. But if you've got the wrong antenna on, what will happen is the power will circulate and go straight back into your module, and you'll end up burning out your module. Alright, so always make sure you've got a long range antenna on your long range system. Alright, that's just something else I've found out. Now, like I said, this is all new to me, right, I'm brand new at it. As I start to learn the systems and progress, if I come across anything that new pilots, right, might find interesting, right, or if you've got any questions once I've figured out the answer myself, right, I'll be happy to share. So if you've got any questions, not right now, alright, give me a chance to read the instructions first, but no, joking apart, if you've got a question, leave a comment, and once I've figured it out myself, I'll get back to you. Yeah, this one came with receiver, and it's the Anan MM Micro or Mini, right, and basically it's tiny. If I put it on the edge of my little finger, you can, I've got the shakes there, can't hold my little finger still. Yeah, it's a tiny little thing. Right, you do get some pins with it, pin headers to put in, so you can end up plugging your cable straight in, but as we all know, we'll just solder straight to the board itself. Right, I'll tell you what, it's so tiny I can't even see the bind button. Right, in fact, where's the instructions, just for the hell of it. Right, so I reckon that's your back. I'll tell you what, I ain't got anything small enough to point with. Just on this edge here, that's your band button, right, and it is tiny, man, really tiny. But yeah, so right, that's the long range system, right, and I have to learn it all myself, and this is more of a look what I've got video, and once I've learnt it, I'll be able to give you some tips and information. Well, there you go then, pilots. That's my new system. I have to get all sorted out. I've also ordered a couple new receivers, so I'll have 3 altogether, just to get, rather than just being on one model, because in case I crash it and smash it, I can always go straight to the other model to, as you know, if you've got more than one model, you have more than one receiver. And so I've ordered a couple more receivers. They're not here yet, because I've got a really good deal on them from Banggood.com. But yeah, there's my new transmitter and my new long range system. I'll have to do a bit of studying, learn it, figure it out like you do with all new things. But as I said at the beginning, as soon as I've got it down cold, shall we say, if I come across anything interesting or complicated that I found an easy way around it and stuff like that, I'll do what I always do, make a super simple, super basic video for new pilots. Alright then, thanks for watching. I know it's slightly different to my normal FPV coffee breaks. It's more of a look what I've got, clever, but I don't mean it that way. I mean it as in I've got some new gear, alright, I'm going to have to learn it, alright, and once I have, I'll try and help other pilots who may buy one in the future. Alright then, thanks for watching, and wish me luck with me studying. And hopefully in the near future you'll see my first long range flight after I've done a range test. Alright, which this is obvious to just about everybody. When you get a new transmitter, well, you should do a range check, right, on before every single flight, right, but we don't. I don't know anybody who does, not before every single flight, but whenever I get a new transmitter and a new receiver, always do a range check. Alright, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at your instructions. Just about every radio has the capability to do a range check. Alright, so read your instructions, because no point me telling you how to do it on one transmitter if yours is different. Okay, it basically, right, it cuts it down, sort of like say 2 inches become a mile for argument's sake, right, which it doesn't, but it's so you can judge how far your range will be. And whenever I put a new receiver into any new model, I always do a range check, right, but even though officially you should do one before every flight, but that's something I never do. Right, just as I put a new receiver in. But yeah, so hopefully my next video will be a maiden of a long range, and see how it goes. Okay then, pilots and ground crew, thanks for watching. Wish me luck with my studies, as I've already just said. Just realised I just said that. Anyhow, I'm waffling, so cheers.